Hi, my name is Micah Robinson, and I'm applying for the UNCF Mellon Teaching Institute. Yesterday, I was helping my mom do work for her classroom. I watched her as she did her Zoom call for her kids to tell them their lesson and how they should do everything and all that stuff. While I was watching her, I just immediately had a moment of pride. Somebody who was just like me, hated technology, or at least hated feeling dumb with technology, was learning on the fly in order to do something for a cause that she felt was important. And I just got excited. I sat there for the entire almost 2 hours watching and listening to her lecture. And it was fun. I was happy that kids younger than me get to listen to my mom ramble a little bit, jokingly talk about the things that happen and the things that can change if you put a little bit of effort into it. One of the reasons why I wanted to apply for this is that I saw this as an opportunity for me to change something, or at least to learn more while I do these changes. I live in Mississippi, and most people have this negative connotation of what Mississippi is, even people in my family. And I don't mean here in Mississippi, I mean the family that's in Chicago, Illinois. They're not wrong, but the problem I have is that they only focus on that. And sometimes I just want to tell them that, yeah, that stuff happened. It does matter. It really does matter. But I'm also here and I'm doing things. I'm changing things. I'm really trying super hard. A lot of people are trying super hard. We're all working together, but you won't view us that way. My goal is to become a environmental chemist, a researcher. As a researcher, typically you're not going to be seen. People won't know who you are, they won't really care. I might get some accolades being a black researcher, but outside of that, the things that you do, unless it's something groundbreaking, won't get noticed. And most science isn't about groundbreaking research, it's about collaboration in order to make everything just more efficient, better. I want to bring all my skills back to Mississippi. I want to work here, possibly at MDEQ, Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, to do water research because that's what I'm passionate in. I know that. But again, nobody will ever realize that, oh, there are organizations, there are areas and agencies, there are a bunch of philanthropists that are already in the state trying their hardest, but because everything is super slow to get changed, you won't ever see it. You won't ever notice it unless you're actively going out to notice it. That's where art comes in. I know that it's hard to see something if it's not in your face, but art is something that can always be in your face. You might not even notice it, but it is, such as statues around Jackson or flowers in Jackson. The sidewalk can even be art because sometimes we paint all of that. The mailboxes that were painted in Jackson, all those are pretty. And then if you go into some counties around Jackson or even further out, there'll be even more paintings and things. Not all of them as beautiful, but that's just subjective. I think that art can be a way to put a staple in where we are now and just be able to look back at it and see it. Because there are some graffiti marks that were on like a train track somewhere. I remember it to this day, and that's how I document where I am. Well, not document, but that's how I judge on how close I am to Madison, and that's how I judge how close I am back to home. How close I am to Columbus, where I used to go to school, even. Because I can just visually see those tags and recognize it in my mind. And it helps me understand, hey, I'm close to so and so. So I don't look at the um, driving signals. I don't look at those. But I do look at the art that's sometimes out on the road that keeps me busy, keeps my eyes open, that wow me and shock me. Art is a beautiful little thing. It helps people see that something is happening. In Columbus, there's even a alleyway that had some wings painted on it. And everybody would go from my college, from my high school, would go over there and take pictures of themselves with the wings on their backs. I even did it. And I still have that picture, and that's one of the only things that I do remember about my school life, high school life. It's only been 5 years or 4, but that's one of the biggest moments that I had. Another big moment was when I had a Holly festival where we were throwing colors at each other. I remember that. Art is something that you remember. History is something that you remember. The individual people inside of it are things that you don't remember. So I'm looking at this fellowship, I'm looking at this institute as a way to learn how I can incorporate art, incorporate history inside science. Because you aren't going to remember too many of the scientists. You won't remember me in the history later down in the future. And I don't expect people to. But I want people to know that there was movement and there was change. That there were people like me. Maybe you won't know that it was me, but you will know that there are people like me who were actively making change, who are actively using all their resources, all their knowledge, and trying super hard to just do something different. That's it for my video response. It had a 2-minute minimum, and this is definitely over it. Thank you, and I'm Micah Robinson again, applying for the UNCF 2020 Mellon Teaching and Learning Institute. Thank you.